When firms think about off-channel communications, most of the attention goes straight to text messages, WhatsApp, Signal, or collaboration apps. That's where the enforcement headlines tend to land. But in practice, off-channel communications often start somewhere far more familiar. Email. Regulators continue to focus on business-related communications that occur outside of firms' approved systems. And while many of the recent enforcement actions involve messaging apps, email surveillance remains one of the most effective first lines of defense, if it's designed to keep up with how people actually communicate today. Both FINRA and the SEC have made it clear that supervision obligations extend beyond what representatives say to how they say it. Firms are expected to retain, supervise, and review business communications regardless of format or platform. That includes monitoring for red flags that indicate conversations may be moving off approved channels. For broker-dealers, FINRA Rule 3110 requires supervision not just of content, but of the methods representatives use to conduct firm business. Simply prohibiting off-channel communications isn't enough. Regulators have repeatedly criticized firms that rely on policies without implementing practical detection and monitoring controls. Investment advisors face similar expectations. Under the Advisors Act, Books and Records and Compliance Program, rules require advisors to consider whether client communications are occurring on platforms that evade retention and supervisory review. Recent enforcement actions reinforce a consistent message. Policies alone don't satisfy supervisory obligations. Firms are expected to maintain reasonable systems tailored to their size, business model, and communication risks. They're expected to supervise how representatives communicate, not just what they say. And they're expected to evolve their surveillance programs as communication technology evolves. That's where email keyword surveillance becomes especially important. Even when substantive business discussions happen on unapproved platforms, representatives often reference those platforms in firm email systems. Emails like, "I'll text you the details. Let's move this to WhatsApp," or "I sent the documents via Telegram," may seem routine, but from a regulatory perspective, they can be early warning signs. Email surveillance can surface these indicators before issues escalate. Regulators increasingly expect firms to leverage these signals within a risk-based supervisory framework. One practical way to do that is by incorporating the names of commonly used social media and messaging platforms into email keyword searches. Including platform names as keywords helps firms move beyond policy prohibitions and into actual detection. It allows compliance teams to identify potential off-channel activity, assess whether approved tools were used, and document appropriate follow-up. Importantly, the presence of these keywords does not mean misconduct occurred. It simply supports a reasonable, proportionate approach to supervision. It allows firms to triage communications, apply supervisory judgment, and demonstrate that controls are working as intended. A well-designed keyword library should reflect both current usage trends and firm-specific risks. Common examples include WhatsApp, Signal, Telegram, iMessage, Instagram direct messages, LinkedIn messaging, and similar tools that enable direct or encrypted communications outside firm-approved systems. Just as important, keyword lists shouldn't be static. Firms that periodically refresh their libraries and align them with evolving communication tools show regulators that their surveillance programs are actively maintained and responsive to real-world risks. There are also practical considerations firms should keep in mind. Keyword scope should be calibrated based on firm size, representative population, and prior findings. False positives are inevitable, so documented review and escalation procedures matter. Written supervisory procedures should clearly address how off-channel communications are detected and how follow-up is handled. Surveillance findings can also inform targeted training on approved communication channels. And firms should confirm that their surveillance vendors can accommodate dynamic keyword updates. The bottom line is this: regulators expect firms to proactively adapt supervisory controls to modern communication risks. Incorporating known social media and messaging platforms into email keyword surveillance is a practical, defensible step. It demonstrates reasonable supervision, supports a culture of compliance, and helps firms identify off-channel risks before they turn into enforcement issues. Firms that regularly review and refresh their keyword libraries and document the rationale for doing so are far better positioned when regulators come knocking. Need to stay current on regulatory updates and compliance trends? Subscribe and check the link in the description to sign up for our free regulatory alerts at LeGayeLaw.com. At LeGaye Law, we make regulations make sense. Thanks for watching.